In this video, I would like to introduce you to slowly also making use of pure construction planes. So let's say we're going to start with a box and we want to put a canoe into it. So maybe I would like to see more from the side. Let's maybe make a line there. Whoa, wrong tool. There, there. Okay. So in version A, I am simply going to make myself again a basic box. And then once we finish this once, then actually we're going to redo it with a different approach. And you will see how they're related. Okay, so there's my box. Perfect. So I have a front, an end, and a midsection. I'm going to keep the front and the back of the canoe currently open. So the mid part, for example, I would like to be a little bit wider. So the way how I would approach the sketch is, first I'm going to create myself kind of like those midlines. And they're important because, as you can see here, I have first, second, and third, first, second, and third points for my front and my back arc. So let's sketch that one in. Let's zoom in a little bit so I have more screen space to sketch over. Let's see the speed. That's good. So maybe something like this. Let's do this quickly. And there. There. Nope. Jeez. There. Okay. It's kind of difficult to draw when actually where you're drawing is hidden by your pen. Okay. So I could now actually connect these points with lines, and then, for example, I would have kind of like an extruded cylinder. But actually, I would like the mid part to be a little bit wider. But now those faces are exactly, or those arcs are exactly left to the right edge. Well, not a big deal. We can simply extend this cube a little bit. So let's go back to blue. And for example, I would say maybe here or so. Okay, there. Hold on, what? I'm going to make this one with gray there, and then I just draw a line up and back and up. And then, for example, maybe it should extrude that far out. So I mean, here, this far. But now, how do I get this actually back to here? How do I find the correct point? Well, that's going to be pretty easy. We simply can use our understanding of mirroring something. So let's see, from this point through that midpoint there and straight up. So that's foreshortened perfectly over. So you see I used a somewhat, it's not like foreshortening in terms of making one square multiplied to the back, but I mirrored this distance over this point to there by using my vanishing reference lines. Perfect. So now I can actually go ahead, let's zoom in again, and draw in the rest. No, actually first I need my reference point down here. There. Okay, now I can do it. Oh, wrong color. Maybe there. Okay, so, and then let's go these arcs through there. Maybe one this way, one maybe this way, and there will be like a thin line from here to there. There, and then here we will have another line probably going this way. Okay, then we could go ahead and start drawing this one with a little bit thicker strokes. And maybe put this one up. This is also in hard edge. And there we see it. See? So that's the way how, for example, I then created a cylinder where the mid part gets a little bit wider. So you don't necessarily have to be confined to the box. You can expand or go beyond it, as long as, of course, again, you do not get further than, for example, your cone of fusion. So this was pretty easy. Now let me show you actually an alternative approach to maybe how you could construct this one. You will see it has an advantage, and also it has some of disadvantages. So let's go to here. Let's make a new layer. All this put place into this layer group there. You small. Okay. Perfect. Let's reach there. Color. Okay. By the way, in case you use Sketchbook Pro and you are on OS 10.2, there is a bug. You need the new version, and the new version introduces another bug. See that there's a number on my line. Thanks, Autodesk. Okay, so everything is good. So what I'm going to do now is basically try to work with a midline, as you can see. Then I construct myself a vertical. And there, for example, you see I have actually now a horizontal plane. Okay, so where's this one really useful for? Well, very, very simple. I could, for example, with the line tool, go and make myself a line there. And then go back to the vanishing point, and there. See, now I have my vertical, my horizontal. Perfect. How do I bring this part over now to the other side? Well, in this instance, here I need to mirror it over. See here, I'm going to use my this design tool there. Okay, so now I see my midpoint. So from this corner through there, there, okay, and then from here back. So that should be plus minus the foreshortened distance. So mirrored it over. Okay, great. So you see that also here what I ended up with is number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So this is pretty much essentially, oh, it's actually pretty close. The same as boxing it. I just kind of like leave certain faces out. Those I don't really need. So let's say in this case here would like to have an arc, and then there would like to have an opening, and would like here to have kind of like a tip. Okay, so let's make a new layer and let's make a sketch test. Let's see how that will work. So coming this way, going over and back. Okay, so here, for example, it will be more like this. Whoa, whoa. More like this. Yeah. And then from here, if this has to go down, it will flow this way. Okay, let's take a look. You see, there it is. So pretty close. So you see, I didn't eyeball, actually constructed everything. I just didn't really put down lines I don't really need. So now I could go ahead and then actually make a nicer drawing. And there. Ta-da! So it's kind of like open on the top. So essentially, this is a really very basic approach, just creating yourself again a framework instead of just a complete box. You just use planes. The difficulty here, of course, is if something has to be cubical. So let's say this actually should be a perfect proportional cube or square. That's maybe a little bit more difficult to guess this way. So then actually putting down a cube will be easier. In case you're not restricted to that, well, then you can just, for example, apply it this way. So let's do a different type of sketch. Line here. Okay, there. Let's connect this and there. Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe here's my back there. And I'm pulling down a line here. And I go to there and there. So good. So you see, actually, essentially, I have my ground and I have my vertical plane. So why is that important or useful? This is now a start where actually I only work first on my visible front sketch. So the first half, the missing part in the back, I actually will do later. So for example, now, let's say I have a shape like, let's say like this. There. And let's say maybe here it looks like this. Okay. And maybe also here, maybe let's put in an arc. So there it's straight. And there it goes down. Okay, so. And maybe here later one point I would like something like this. So I'm going to work actually with a lot of cross sections now. So maybe this at one point will start to look like a boat. So let's maybe start with the back. That's the easier one. Okay, so line tool from there and there and there and there. So you see where this one line stopped. And for example, a vertical straight down. So in here, I can perfectly then, let's say, put down this line. Okay. This line nearly looks parallel or horizontal. So let's go to here, there. And let's draw another line there. Maybe let's simplify this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do the same here. So watch out now, actually, because I need to know how the depth. See, this depth goes to there. So here, there. And then from this vanishing point through this point here at the base, I draw a line. You see actually where it cuts my red profile? That's where I have to stop, because then from there I can go up there. 1 second, and then there. See there? Small rectangle, small rectangle. Okay. So for example, on that shape, I'm going to put down maybe also a profile. And ooh, this one line is actually terrible. What happened there? Hold on. This one thing here was completely wrong. No, I got actually confused. Everything is right. So, so here, this one goes higher actually. No, what's going on? Oh, zip. And then through that point there. There it is. And there. So this part up there is included. Okay, so let's go back. Zip, zip, zip. Go to here. And for example, there's an arc. And you see actually this is in half arc, so quarter arc, a little bit taller. But I'm following kind of like the red profile on the ground to estimate kind of like my depth. So maybe let's go to here. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to do exactly the same. So line, bing, bing, and from here I need to line up because I need to find this point, and there is our next one. There. Take a look at this. See that? No? Has to go more through there. Okay. So then here, for example, I want to have this line. This I could already ink as well. I might not necessarily know how, for example, I should at one point maybe have an additional line on here, and for example also on here, so you can better understand the flow. See, this line really helps understanding how this surface bends. So I'm actually going to add just a line there and there and there and up, so I have a plus minus idea how wide, for example, that thing is. Okay. See, that wasn't too hard. No, the tricky thing is I only drew 1/2 of my object. So what do I do with the rest? The other part. So I'm going to make this a little bit more transparent. So this is now where the tricky stuff comes in, because now I have to decide which part do I probably see. This is really wide, so how far it comes to there, so I have to mirror it decently over to the back. I'm not sure how much I might see from this one, or even here, this area I will not see because it's blocked. So I'm going to create myself a new layer. There. You know what? Hold on. Let's do it this way first. So on this sheet, you can use a sheet or, again, pen pressures. Just for the demonstration's sake here, I do everything on layers so I can easily show you the process. Hand sketching, I might work with pen pressure more. And digitally, well, you can use layers anyway. So, and then from there, through there, and there's your other line. So there we have it mirrored over. So you see there is actually one red point there where, for example, it cuts it. So I would like that, for example, to be brought over if you need to, but maybe I don't really necessarily need to. You see, I have all these cut sections already. So maybe that's actually what I rather focus on. So instead of mirroring the whole curve over, I simply bring only those cut sections over I really need. So I see kind of like where this point is. And I would like to know where is it on this line. Preferably where I marked it. So here's my diagonal and preferably there. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm doing here everything in red now, so let's make a line up. So there I see now this point. Okay, and let's go in blue. And there you can see actually how much maybe of that shape you will or you would see. See, there is a little bit of visibility, but most of the lower part I don't really know. And here I continue drawing this shape because it will come over this way a little bit. There, yeah. Okay, there you see there's a little bit of this one coming out. So probably the same on the back one. So here again, let's make a straight line up. So there I have my, oh no, is that really correctly foreshortened? Something feels awfully foreshortened. Oh, maybe that's correct then. Okay, there and there. I think there must be more there. Okay. And so this comes pretty high up and then comes over. Yeah, okay. So, and then I can assume that probably the same will be on the back. So at this point now, let's maybe go with nice and red, thicker point. Okay, so I'm going to ink this. And then here actually, ooh, man, just lost track. So here it has actually to go up a little bit. I'm not following the midline, and then there you see that is kind of like the tangent surface, and then later it will end there and go down. Okay, so that's good. And now with a different pen maybe. I can bring this one down. So this is just a midline. From here I come up, light pressure, then I press harder, so I put the midline down. Here again. Okay. And let's take a look at what we have. And zip, zip, zip. And nope. Nope. Whoa. There. Okay. See, so that's how easy it is actually to construct something that is kind of very organic, and we simply still have to make use of construction planes. But I don't necessarily box everything anymore. But then again, you know, these squares can still be two-dimensional representation of proportional squares or boxes. Okay, that's it.